Hi, my name is Alicia Nelson, and I'd like to talk to you today about sedentary behaviors and the negative effects that they have on health. So to start things off, I'd like you to take out a sheet of paper if you could, and it'll help you to remember the different questions that I ask throughout this presentation. It'll also help you to remember your answer to these questions. And at the end of this presentation, it'll help you to recap and do a self-assessment of yourself and your behaviors. So, a person's day is made up of sleep, sedentary behaviors, light intensity physical activities, and high intensity physical activities. Okay, so for sleep. Sleep is a state of body and mind in rest. It is also a state of recovery for both your mind and your body. This should take up 7 to 8 hours per night on average. Next is light intensity physical activities. These are everyday activities that are relatively easy for you to do. So there's something such as walking from place to place, maybe even to and from work. Next is high intensity physical activities, which do differ from light in the sense that they are more difficult to do. They require more stamina. So there's something such as playing sports or doing intense cardio. This is something that will help you to get your heart rate up. And finally, sedentary behaviors. Sedentary behaviors, or the more harmful behaviors out of all of the behaviors. This behavior is minimal movement. It requires minimal movement and is something such as watching television, just sitting on your couch. So now, with your sheet of paper, you've already written, I'd like you to write down from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, the activities that you do throughout the day. So which activities fall into which behavior, and how much time was spent in total in each behavior throughout your day. So, sedentary behaviors are negative to health, but why are they so harmful to health? Well, they cause negative outcomes such as obesity, depression, and metabolic syndrome, where, if you don't know, metabolic syndrome is a cluster of problems such as high blood pressure or blood sugar, or extra fat around your waistline, or even high cholesterol. These lead to stroke, diabetes, and heart disease, which may also lead to premature death. So with all of these problems with sedentary behavior, why do we still stay so sedentary throughout our day? Well, sometimes we may not have an option, or we're tired, such as having a desk job, or having long commutes to and from work, or just being simply tired and wanting to sit down and watch television or play video games. So, with that being said, take out your sheet of paper and you wrote down how much time you spent at each behavior. Well, how much of that time did you spend in sedentary behavior? And what were your reasonings for being sedentary for that period of time? So now, I'm not saying you can't sit down and relax every once in a while, but when sedentary behaviors take up a large portion of the day, it can become damaging to your health as well as physical and mental. So adults who are of a healthy standing are less likely to suffer from things such as depression compared to adults who are overweight. Okay, so now activities that require physical activity compared to just a sedentary behavior, people who are more active throughout the day tend to have a healthy body weight and show more favorable levels in contrast to people who are more sedentary throughout their day. So people who are more sedentary are more likely to suffer from things like depression, where active people have an increased production of these brain neurotransmitters, such as endorphins or serotonin. These will help to elevate your mood or even alleviate feelings of stress, whereas people who are sedentary don't get those as much. Okay, so it is hard to stay active when you have a job that requires you to stay stationary through most of the day, but it is not impossible. So things you could do at work would be things like taking the stairs to work, or taking short breaks to get up, breathe, walk around, maybe stretch, or even making plans to work out that in a way that'll fit your schedule, or possibly walking or biking to work. And if you feel you struggle with figuring out ways to stay active or having time throughout the day where it doesn't fit your schedule, you can call on a personal trainer. They're trained to help you to figure out a way to keep you healthy, and it'll help you to forge a better path for yourself. So health-wise, 150 to 250 minutes of every week should be high-intensity cardio or something high-intensity, just to help an individual stay healthy. So, okay. So now I want you to bring out your paper. Do you have a job that requires you to stay mostly stationary? If so, what is your work schedule like? Are you able to work around it? And what are things you can do in and outside of work that can help you to stay active? So in conclusion, since sedentary behaviors have such damaging effects on mental and physical health, it is vital to stay active as much as possible throughout your day to stay healthy. And exercising is a relatively easy and inexpensive way to do so. It'll help you to combat many of today's diseases that are preventable. And it'll also help to prevent premature death due to these health-related problems. So as a personal trainer, helping to properly inform your client on the negative effects of sedentary behavior and helping them to find better ways to stay active throughout their day will help them to build a path for them for a happier and healthier life. Okay, so now I would just like to say thank you for watching my video, and I hope all of this information has helped you towards your path for a better and healthier life. Thank you for watching.